LaScala here from Fit with Liz, and today I'm going to be addressing the huge question I've been getting multiple messages about to be able to answer and do a live on, and that question is, why do I suggest my clients to eliminate dairy from their diet? Now, I hesitate to use the word eliminate because I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm lactose intolerant and I still consume dairy once a week. I mean, especially for my cheat meal, I always want either a bacon cheeseburger or some type of pizza, or most of the desserts that I like an apple crisp, have vanilla ice cream on top. So, you know, I still have it, but I want you guys to just keep an open mind here. I don't mean that you have to cut it out for your entire life. You can't ever have it again, but I want to give you guys the reasons as to why it's so valuable and why this helps my clients, you know, progress much more quickly when they do cut down on as much dairy as possible. So what I wanted to do is make sure that you guys fully realize that, first of all, just because you're not considered lactose intolerant doesn't mean that you are not intolerant to milk. So, hey Patty, thanks for joining. So I want you guys to realize that actually 75% of the entire population is intolerant to milk, just maybe not lactose intolerant. And then you have 30 to 50 million Americans alone that are labeled as lactose intolerant. So we as human beings were not meant to be able to digest another mammal's milk. And so this isn't something that we really think about because, you know, you started being breastfed, or maybe you were just completely bottle fed from, you know, the time that you were born. And then we grow up and we see these, all the got milk commercials and all those advertisements, and that, you know, have to drink milk to grow big and strong. And that's where you get your calcium and your vitamin D. And so naturally we think there can't be anything wrong with milk. And the thing is, though, as we start to do more studies, and clearly we're scientifically advancing in, you know, every single area, and we're really realizing the effects that that dairy is having on the body. So the next thing I want to make sure that we're clear on before I go into the different ways that your body can benefit from cutting out dairy is that eggs are not dairy. So I just want to make that clear because I talk to many people that have to either think twice or totally think that eggs are actually a dairy product. So when I actually went to go make this announcement today that I was going to do my Facebook Live, and I went on Google and I typed in dairy products and I pulled up the images, I actually was surprised by how many of the images included eggs in there. I couldn't even use them, so I just ended up using a picture of a cow for today. But so many people think that it includes eggs, so I just want you guys to make sure that you know that we're not talking about eggs. It's a totally different subject that I'll do a Facebook Live on another time. We're just talking about milk, butter, we're talking about yogurt, sour cream, cottage cheese, all that type of stuff. Hey Amanda, thanks for joining. Ice cream, everybody's favorite. So just so you guys know, that's what we're talking about here. But the first thing that you really benefit from cutting out dairy or eliminating as much of it as possible is the decrease in bloating. When I have, especially females, when I have people come to me and say that they are bloated, chances are, if I look throughout their diet, I'm gonna find dairy in there a couple times throughout the week. And so even if you aren't someone that is diagnosed as lactose intolerant, your body has a really difficult time digesting milk. So you have to think, when it's inflaming your entire gut, you are having such poor digestion, you're leading to a great amount of inflammation. It's going to snowball into some of the other effects that I'm going to talk about in a couple of minutes. But when it comes to trying to be able to digest all the other healthy foods that you're eating, your different macronutrients, your carbs, your fats, your proteins, your micronutrients, those vitamins you take, any supplements that you have, if your gut's inflamed, I mean, your body's not worrying about digesting the rest of the stuff that's in there because the milk's making it so inflamed. So you're really defeating the purpose of every other nutrient that you're taking in. So just keep this in mind when you're trying to use protein as or you're trying to use milk as like a protein source. I know a lot of times people want to do like the yogurts, the Greek yogurts, mix milk with their protein shakes. You just have to realize that you're trying to get in a higher amount of protein, but you're really inhibiting the ability to even be able to absorb any of that because your gut's so inflamed from this. So that kind of goes into the next thing I was going to be talking about is your respiratory health. So if you guys ever had a cold before, a lot of times you'll hear a doctor say, you want to try and stay away from milk products because it's going to thicken your mucus. I know nobody likes talking about it, but let's be real, we all have it. So that's why they say that, because it thickens your mucus. So anyone dealing with asthma or allergies, you're making your situation a lot worse. So just try and stay clear from that. Limit it to 1 day a week. Clear skin is another big benefit. So I know it's become more common in commercials and on labels for companies to
say this is, GMO free or this is hormone free, and we really want to highlight the fact that there's not a bunch of crap in our stuff anymore. And so but what you need to realize is that not all of those products are hormone free. Many milk products have anabolic steroids or growth hormone still traced in there. And so that alone can trigger an upset in your hormone levels. But then even if it is organic, RBGH free, no hormones in the milk, you have to realize that it's still dairy. So if it's going to your gut and upsetting your gut, we already talked, earlier this week on a couple different occasions about how the gut is the second brain. The gut is king. So if you end up upsetting that, that's going to have an effect on your skin. So if you're wondering why you're breaking out, let's start to also look at the foods that you're having, specifically dairy, because it can really upset it more than you would think. And then the last thing I really wanted to emphasize with the benefits of taking dairy out is the fact that you're reducing the oxidative stress within your body. And so what many people don't realize is that milk is the primary source for a sugar that's called D-galactose. And so D-galactose, as they've done multiple studies on it, they've found that this actually induces changes within the body that lead to the decreased immune system, leads to neurodegeneration, leads to inflammation, and overall increases the oxidative stress or cellular stress within your body. So overall, do you see kind of yeah, Patty, this is absolutely amazing, because you see a pattern here that you're just causing your body a lot of stress. I mean, I understand that we kind of grew up with the mindset that milk was a great source, but go heels, Christy. I know you love when I wear my Carolina stuff. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to shower after I had my workout today. But yeah, so when you see that there's a clear indication of all the side effects, the gas, the bloating, the diarrhea, the fatigue that come along with dairy, some people are more sensitive than others, but guys, either way, we are not meant to be able to digest it. So then people are like, okay, well then where else am I supposed to get my protein, or how am I supposed to get my calcium? When I actually did a live earlier this week, and I was talking about how some of your supplements could be made out of soap scum or shower scum, we talked about calcium a little bit, the different types of calcium. So you would want to make sure that if you do start supplementing with calcium, that you're also using the right type of calcium to supplement with. So you might want to go back and look at that video to be able to get the best idea about how to choose to do that. And then of course, you want to make sure that you use like an almond milk or a coconut milk or cashew milk for a replacement for your milk. So there's so many different kinds out there. If you guys want some suggestions as far as the brands and whatnot that I use, I can post them below. If you guys have any suggestions for other followers here, feel free to post them. But another thing you want to keep in mind is that if you are going to look for some dairy-free products that are supposed to like replace cheese and yogurt, specifically cheese, you have to really be careful with how much sodium is in them, because there ends up being a lot more processed stuff in there than you realize, and cheese itself is already processed. But just keep an eye on the labels, that just because it's dairy free doesn't mean it's much better for you. Just like gluten free something doesn't necessarily mean it's healthy for you. So if you guys have any additional questions, I know this was a short one, but it's pretty short and sweet. I mean, you can see all the issues that stem from having dairy in your diet, and if you can eliminate it to once a week, I'm telling you, I've had clients that have dropped 3 to 5 pounds in a week just from cutting out dairy and making sure, sun's out, guns out, thanks Tony, but cutting out dairy just to make sure that, they're letting go of all this toxicity, the inflammation, and the water that they're holding on to. So feel free to ask questions, guys. If you have any ideas for live videos that you want me to start doing next week, post them below. I'm always open to it. I'm here to serve you guys. So if you haven't already gone to my website, go to fitwithliss.com, check out some of my other videos there, and feel free to subscribe. You can get your Fit with Liss Metabolic Jumpstart Guide for free when you subscribe. So thank you guys. I will see you later.